Alrighty, boys and girls, we are live with our Division 3 opening round for Season 10 here at Japan. We are going to run full qualifying tonight. We should have our 16th person joining sometime this session. I'm going to double check this is working. Yep, it looks like we are good. And along with that, see, you got my long page up. All right, looks like we are dry for the duration of both this full qualifying session and the race. So for those of you who do not know, qualifying one will take the top 15 drivers. As you can see, we only have 15, so literally nobody has to do a lap yet. Once a 16 driver gets in, then one person will be eliminated. If we could lower the duration for Q1 with a smaller pool, we would, but it's not an option, so we're just going to deal with what we've got. Looks like I've got a few people already heading out. I would imagine... No, okay. I was going to say that most people should be going out on intermediates this early in the session. Dry session. No chance of rain for the entirety of the session. Well, there's a small chance of rain at the end of Q2, or Q3, excuse me, but I don't think we're going to get that far. But like I said, only one person, once we get our 16th driver in the lobby, will be eliminated from this session. So we will just be having a few little warm-up laps. Doing a lap is still important. Kind of get yourself in rhythm and get yourself a place to build off from for the next two sessions. Let's see, so we had, looks like we have Kagenis, Red Panda Pigeon Slayer here. Is beginning his first lap. Now, Japan is always a tricky track. We've seen it already a few times. I've seen it myself, even felt it. Putting myself in the barrier, I think at turn 4. In the race in Division 2 on Saturday. Very painful. This is so far every single season we've raced at Japan, every single game, 3 games in a row, I've crashed at the same corner. So clearly there's something I'm doing wrong. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to see what Big Fart 69 can do. That's quite the name. I don't think anyone can beat that. I thought OnlyFans Richard Long was going to be a pretty good name, but Big Fart 69 wins by quite a bit. Now, one thing that surprises me a little bit on this game for this track is that that final corner is just so tricky under braking. It's shockingly difficult because it's not just a hard braking zone. You kind of have to let the car ride a little bit and turn as you move in towards the corner. You can carry quite a bit of speed through both of those corners. Quite the challenge. See where Pratty's at. Into the first exit corner. Look like he took out the braking board. Shows purple, but he's about 5/10 down on J Street's first sector here. Oh, excuse me, no, he's matched J Street's first sector. He also matched Man in the Box's sector, so he's doing a pretty solid job. Boy. Joel. Second I see him online, send him an invite. Pratty should come around. Oh, 30.1. Okay. Now again, only one person will be eliminated. At least if we get that 16th driver, we should. So for the most part, everyone should only do that one go. Maybe the people close to the bottom might go on a second stint. I'm a little surprised, like I said before, that nobody decided to do an intermediate strat. We're still 12 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first session here. And we have 7 people with times already. Looks like we have Hokage, or excuse me, Roldy, Aston Martin team principal, Harold Monalili. A little bit of a slide there after he touched that curb. My first sector time, 31.8. That was actually a purple sector 1 before he put in the gravel. Oh, Roldy with a really nice looking lap there. We have J Street on another attempt here. On the same set of tires he did before, Roldy had a 31.877 on his sector 1 there before his lap was invalidated. J Street here did a 31.808. So he followed Roldy through that first sector and was able to beat him. Quite a bit slower in his middle sector here for J Street. That tire wear should be catching up with him by quite a bit. Looks like he's just pumping laps while he can. Looks like we've got Avira, our #1 overall pick in Division 3 for Mercedes on his first push lap. He currently has first purple sector for both Sector 1 and Sector 2. He's looking at least a low 28, if not better here. Maybe 28.4. 28 flat, okay. I should have stuck with my original projection there. Back towards here, we have another new driver, Mr. Original Paulie, going around into 130R, completing the second sector there. A little off the pace on the first sector, a little off the pace in the second sector, at least relative to Avira. Let's see where this puts him. 29.7, easily through to the next session, at least for now. Still have 3 people yet to do a lap. And we have the return of Aaron Green, Mr. B-Boy Simba himself. He has not raced here in several seasons. Recently returned to the ZRL server on his first attempt. Ooh, that Alpine right in front of him. And there you go, Aaron Green, 29.2, puts him into P5. Really nice start to his season. We have maybe Chonk on a lap here through the first sector. See, gotta get an invite here for 16th driver. Oops, still not there. Chalk with a 31. Ooh, wild line through the spoon there. He just aborts his lap. Hard to see with the overlay there. .8 remaining. He may try to push one more time. Yeah, looks like he's trying to build a little bit of battery before he restarts there for Chong. Back here going into spoon, we have Kiwi. Coming down the back straight towards 130R, finishing his second sector. Let's see. Ooh, almost 7/10 up for Kiwi. Okay, looking to try to break that 29, that 1 minute 29 barrier. Ooh, just over it. A little bit wide on that line through the final corner. But still, P5 for Kiwi. Heading towards the end of Q1. We're still 6.5 minutes away from the end of this session. I will recommend, if anyone who has set a lap time, probably don't. And if you're in the top 8, probably save the rest of your tires for the remainder of the sessions. Look, we have Big Fart 69 out here on an outlap. Looks like he's using older tires again, which honestly is a pretty solid idea, because if we do not get that 16th driver, it will not matter. Let's see. A little bit of a snap. Here we go. And there we go. Joel, I sent you an invite. I sent you another invite. Invite number 3. I will send you a backup one as soon as you get in the session. Ooh. Lokesh, aka Big Fart 69. A little bit of a rough line there through the spoon. Or through spoon, excuse me. What I understand, he is a newbie to the F1 game and was invited at the recommendation of ZRL legend Spanini, Sanjay Panetti, regular member of our broadcast team. However, his availability might be limited this season, but that's okay. He's done plenty for us. We always appreciate anyone who volunteers to help us with these broadcasts. Like I said, we have Joel, Mr. Zucks in the lobby now. I'm going to send him a backup invite just in case. A couple of retirements already. 28-7, 28 flat should be definitely good enough to get through. How are we looking here for Mr. Lokesh? Mr. Big Fart 69. Quite a rough first sector here. Ooh, ripping it on the exit there. Oh no. Definitely should have went back into the pits. This is on his 3rd lap now on this set of tires. We have less than 3 minutes to go. Right now, the expectations, Joel, who is kind of the expected to be one of the quicker drivers in Division 3 this season, as long as he does a valid lap, he will likely be through. So right now, the person on the block is Lokesh, Mr. Big Fart 69. Just with the amount of time that it's going to take for him to come back in and go back around, it does look like Lokesh is going to be our odd man out for qualifying, for our second qualifying session. Mr. Kagenis, if you are listening, you are easily through. You should absolutely go back in the pits. We have Snoop. Looks like he just aborted a lap as well. Oh, Snoop has run out of fuel. Down at the back straight towards 130R. See where Joel was at. Obviously, Joel still has to do a valid lap, so if he cuts the chicane, goes wide here at 130R. Ooh, really close. Really close with that penultimate corner. But that's going to put Joel into P2 on his first lap. And Big Fart 69. The Legend of Lokesh will have to wait until next week to not start at the back of the grid. Or to actually have a shot to not start at the back of the grid. And yeah, forever whoever's new in this grid, you know, if it's both Pratty. Oh, okay, look at that. Pratty with the 29-1. Spoke a little soon. So yeah, for Mr. Lokesh, Mr. Big Fart 69, don't be too discouraged if you're relatively new to this. Always time to gain. And when you're this early in the game, there's nowhere to go but up. We have 9 more races after today, and there's always positions to be made up in the main race. Joel out here just pushing again, just a little extra practice lap. Only 5.6 seconds behind his current time. And into the pits he goes, and that'll do it for our first session in qualifying. All right. Again, only one person out in Q1 with Big Far 69, also known as Lokesh. Now we move on to Q2. Now this is when tires will start mattering. Now this is when all of the time, the whole entire session will matter. Just a little bit of an 18-minute warm-up for everyone. All right. There we go. Now we move on to Q2. 15 minutes to the end of this session. To the end of this session, we will leave behind our bottom 5 drivers. All right. Looks like we have one of our Haas drivers. I believe Chong. Oh, no. We have Kagenis, Red Panda Pigeon Slayer. Also known as Kagenis. That's why just his old name. We might change his. Can't change everyone's name all the time, but some people come and go, change their name. We kind of go with what we have. Mr. Kagenis, the first one out on the track. It looks like Kagenis is on a used set of tires. And if my telemetry is correct, Kagenis only has one fresh set of tires. So, for this session. Max, I'll hit you with that roll here in a moment. Let's take a look. So again, looks like we have AlphaTauri there of a Kiwi or Aaron Green. Looks like Aaron Green. Ooh, whoopsie, wrong button. Should be back. Yeah, we should be back. The little Windows key there, and there goes Joel. Oh, we need to send him another invite. You should have a backup invite, but I'm going to send him one real quick, then we'll get back on with Aaron Green as he starts his first lap in our second qualifying session. There you go, Joel. Telemetry up here for y'all. Nice line through turn 1 for Aaron Green. A little bit understeer there. He's sticking the line nice. Flat all the way through this fast left-hander, all the way up to the first segment corners. He took so much of that corner. That invalidated his lap. Solid first sector for him there. But remember, he's got someone. Looks like we have Kagenis here on his lap, right behind Aaron Green. He is still valid. But right behind him, we have Mr. Roldy, who's setting purple sector 1, 31.799. That is a purple sector for the entire session. Running into a lot of traffic here, though. Looks like that's Aaron Green in front of him, who has aborted his lap. B-Boy Simba. Ahead of him, we still have Kagenis on his lap, 3/10 behind where Roldy is right now. We have Rigraff in the Alpine behind Roldy, who's actually set the fastest first sector. He beat Roldy. Roldy with the purple sector 2, 40.141, and the AlphaTauri behind him of, I believe, Kiwi just beat his middle sector time too. 29.1 for Kagenis. Let's see what Roldy does. 28.8. Solid start for him. Roldy was on fresh tires there. Kiwi, 28.7, puts him on provisional pole after 3 laps are done. We have the legend himself, OnlyFans Richard Long. Joel got the retire bug, so he's out for Q2. This is why you don't leave sessions or crash or whatever, because if you come back, the game might retire you. And then for Mr. Garrett Elder, OnlyFans Richard Long, 28.5. Man in the box. Second Rumble driver beats him by just a little, by literally 1/1000. Okay. Both of these guys on fresh sets of tires. Back towards the back, we have Pratty in the first or just going through 130R into the final couple corners. Pratty finished with a 29.2. Looks like we have Mr. Original Paulie on an outlap here. We have Snoop Francis going into the hairpin on his first qualifying lap for Q2. Oh, a little bit of a spin. Does not go into the wall. Remember, guys, if you're listening, there's no ghosting in this session, so be careful when rejoining. Send another invite to Joel because he is on EA. Can't join manually. They have to have an invite. Alright, Snoop. Paulie looks like he did a double outlap. Now he's pushing into the first sector. Original Paulie is another one of just the surprising amount of people we get from Australia to join our server. Joining the ranks of the esteemed member, combined YouTuber, and other guys like Lights, and I don't know who else. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Ooh, a little bit deep there into Spoon, but he's still valid. Tell if we have man in the box on a lap right behind him. Kind of curious why he's going on a lap so soon after his first one. He's actually on the same set of tires, so let's see where Paulie ends up. Paulie does a 30.188. Now we've seen that he's definitely got more in the time in there. We saw he was much quicker than that in Q1. Now back here we have Chonk going into the hairpin. Let's see where we have Aaron Green. Oh, final. Oh, he invalidated. He'll probably bring it into the pits here on that penultimate corner. The Chonk is still green into 130R. No lift, no downshift, completely flat. Very nice through those two corners. Probably could have taken a little more of that. Keeping it nice and tight heading to the start-finish line. And where does this put Chonk? Chonk up to P4. Okay, Chonk. 28.4. Avira matching his Q1 time. Well, a little bit quicker, but 28.0 nonetheless. And so we have two drivers that have yet to set lap times, and we are 6 minutes from the end of qualifying 2. Looks like we have a Williams on the way out. Must be Snoop Francis looking to try to get a lap in before he has to do a final stint. It's a little bit late, but he might be able to squeeze 2 in here. So again, remember the bottom 5 drivers. So excluding Zux, Joel Guron, he had the disconnect bug where if you disconnect, come back to a session, try to get back in your car, the game automatically retires you for some reason, which is why we don't run with Parc Ferme. I think with that, what we'll probably do, in hindsight, with ghosting accidentally being left off, we're going to restart the lobby after this session. I don't want D3 to have to accidentally kill everyone on D3 to have a doo-doo start to the season. So we will restart the session after qualifying 3. Alright, so we have Snoop, and we have Aaron Green on an outlap. Snoop about to start probably his final lap of the session. Right now, he would be eliminated from qualifying if we ended right now, as you have yet to set a time. Snoop solid through these first 3 corners. Nice and tight, rides a little bit of the corner, or curb, excuse me. Nice, very smooth here. Maybe a little bit too cautious on the turn in there. A little bit of lift up the hill. He's just trying to get a valid lap on the board here. Maybe a little bit of over slowing down in both of these Degner corners. But he's still valid. That's what's important here. Because Paulie has retired, and he is eliminated, so... Okay, solid time for Snoop. He's not going to be... It's going to be really close. A little wide on that final corner, but he's keeping it nice and tight. 28.9, that'll put him in P10. He knocks his teammate into the danger zone. Head back to B-Boy Simba. Aaron Green. Oh, wild final sector. This time may hurt. 28.9, okay, he's so close. Pushes Snoop out. Okay, and near that time, Stars finished the lap. Pushing both of them back into the danger sectors. That might mean, with the amount of time we have left, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, that may mean that Aaron Green and Snoop Francis don't have enough time to put in another lap. Snoop definitely does not have the fuel or the time. Yeah, neither does Aaron Green. So both of them are going to be eliminated. Pratty on his outlap, trying to get them tires warmed. He'll be the last one over the line. No, he will not be. Excuse me. He will not be the last one over the line. But this will be his final attempt. 1 minute, 45 seconds. Pratty is looking, if he wants to go 3, a guaranteed move through will put him at 28.861, should get him through. I believe Stars doesn't have enough time to do another lap. So this is it. Pratty needs a 28.862 to get through to Q3. Let's see where he's at. He is... Ooh, we go to him and he just has a bad moment on the exit of the hairpin. But if he pushes it, if he pushes himself now, there's still 35 seconds. I mean, if he just guns it to the line, maybe he'll make it through one more time. He has enough fuel. He has way too much fuel. Let's see. 20 seconds. Oh, don't lift, Pratty. Run, go to the line. Go to the line, Pratty. You're almost there. 14 seconds. Go, Pratty, go. No, you're almost there, Pratty. You're almost there. No. All right, well, that is it for our qualifying 2. It looks like we have man in the box. Because it looks like he has aborted his lap. He is the last one on the track. Avira is on a lap as well. Just a style lap here. But even with Avira here, improving on his time as he has a 31.443, he's going to smoke his time here. Beats his own time by just under 2.3 tenths. And that is it. So Aaron Green, Snoop Francis, Pratty, Original Paulie, and Joel Gurdon have been knocked out in Q2. Oh, and we got rain. Look at that rain right at the end of the session. Okay. We just have man in the box retire, then we will move on. Right now, telemetry still shows cloudy for Q3, but we may be wet Q3 session, so this might make this a little bit more spicy. There is our times for Q2. Only a 1 second gap between the top 10, so relatively close. Avira kind of stretching that gap there right at the end. Let's see. Putting into the final qualifying session of this round 1 for Division 3, and it's still raining. Okay. Let's see. So according to telemetry here, the weather graph is just going to continue to get wet. So we might need to see everyone just dive out of the pits right now. It's at the quickest time they have on inters. And the session might be over after that. So I don't see people going out. People probably adjusting their setups. Remember, we do not run Parc Ferme here. So people can change their setups as they feel. And here we go. We have, looks like a Red Bull of Garrett Elder, Richard Long here heading out. First one out is an Alfa Romeo of J Street. And followed by a Haas of Chonk. Or is that Kagenis? That is Chonk. Oh no, people are still on dries. Okay, so Jeff or Mark is telling them that the dry tire is still better than intermediates. We don't see much water on the ground, so it's just how quickly can these people get around the track and do their lap before it gets too wet. Just remember, guys, if you guys do go off track, I mean, it is against the rule to cut the track to try to on a slow lap, even if you're on the way in and it's not getting you anything. Cutting the track is illegal. And also be careful about going off track on these out laps. It can invalidate your next lap, which would be very frustrating. Looks like we still have a couple of people in the pits. Looks like we have an Alpine of Rigraff and an AlphaTauri. Kiwi still sitting in the pits. There goes Rigraff out of the pits, really late. Like I said, the weather graph on my telemetry is showing that the rain is just going to get worse and worse over the next 30 minutes. That means time is just going to get slower and slower. All right, so again at the front, I believe we have Chonk, and led by J Street. Where these times are going to be a lot slower than they were in Q2 because the track is now wet. J Street still be able to stick mostly flat through that corner. A little bit cautious on the power there. Oh, J Street still a lot of grip there. Chonk behind him is actually almost a 1/10.5 faster. Chonk may have started his lap a little bit too close. Still very smooth through Spoon for both of them. Let's see where this puts us time-wise. Chonk still quicker than J Street in front. Navira behind him has set a purple sector 1 by 0.2 over Chonk. Let's see what this final time for both of these drivers are. J Street really wide through that. J Street with a 31.3, Chonk with a 30.7. Looks like we have Garrett Elder coming through, 31.5. Looks like Man in the Box coming in behind him, 31.2. We have a Haas front row lockout right now, but Avira is powering through, and like I said, beat him by almost 0.6. We have next, looks like Rigraff coming around now. I'm sorry, that was Stars. We have an Aston Martin of Roldy finishing his lap. 40.1, must have had some big moments there. Pushing again, it looks like his battery is still on. Kiwi is in the pits, must have invalidated his attempts. Rigraff currently 0.6 off the Sector 1 of Avira. And Rigraff, P7 31.636. And like I said, with the way the weather is moving, that might be the only stint that everyone really can do realistically. Because every second that we lose on this session timer, just more time that just is no longer there. Looks like we have J Street just starting a lap here. Back around. Looks like he probably doesn't have enough fuel to do the whole lap, but we'll see. He's definitely going to be low fuel mode. So we'll see his delta in the top right as he crosses that Sector 1 line. Very wide there compared to his first attempt. The stupid thing is not showing his lap data, so that's my bad. 33.155. Ooh, spin in the hairpin must have locked his rears. Maybe his front's there causing him to spin. Battery off. Definitely not enough fuel to finish. Looks like he didn't have enough fuel to finish the lap in general, so I'll definitely come back in. Rigraff. Not enough fuel to go again. Definitely have to come in. That might be it. That might be our qualifying order. So let's see what telemetry will do. It takes a second for my telemetry info to start up here. Okay. Avira still has a fresh set. Intermediates are still almost. Yep, intermediates a 1.139. Fresh softs are quicker, so if Avira goes out right now, fresh softs still are quicker than any other tire. But the intermediate tire is ticking closer and closer. It just went from 3.1 to 2.9. So it's getting closer and closer to being on pace with that, with a used set of softs. So we have Mr. Roldy trying to brave another stint here, even though he is losing tons of times just to get around the track as soon as he can. Big issue with this rain is keeps the tires cooler. And you have to get around the track so quickly that you just never really can get those tires up to temp as you would like. Garrett just doing low fuel mode laps for some reason, so that's pretty cool. So we will see here, Mr. Roldy, if he can improve. Still dry tire. That certainly won't help going that deep into the final corner. All right, here we go, approaching that Sector 1 line. 33.8. He is slower than his original first sector by 7/10. Big snap out of that second Degna corner into the hairpin. No shot, he improves, and well, 9 seconds. His first lap time had a big moment, so that middle sector timer is going to make up. Is going to be looking a lot better here. Big improvement, but 2 seconds slower than Avira's second sector there. He will definitely improve his time because his time was just so far. Included a major moment, but still 3 seconds away from P8, so no significant improvement, or no noticeable improvement in his qualifying position. So that's it. This is going to be our qualifying order for the race. And because of a lobby setting error, we are going to have to restart the race, or restart the session. So we will get back to you guys once that is done. All right, everyone, we are back. After a quick little intermission there, I took a nice big fat steaming dump, clogged my toilet, and have yet to clear that. So we are about to restart the session here. Hope everyone remembers to reload their setups, because we did restart the session. Qualifying order has been redone. We are doing a forced dry race. Telemetry showed that the race was probably going to be overcast. It could have been raining, who knows, whatever, we're going dry. We just did a quick little lobby restart session there because our first-time host, Mr. Harold Monolili, actually left ghosting off. And since it's Division 3, we just wanted to make sure that the experience goes as smoothly as possible. So we wanted to make sure that that was not going to be something we had to deal with, particularly since it's just, we've always had ghosting off, or excuse me, ghosting on, to prevent the goofiness of the collision physics in this game. So Speeny, you got to give your boy some powers, dude. Give your boy your powers, dude. Bayfar 69. He can't finish last. Can't do that. You can't let that happen, dude, with that kind of name. So, wait on everyone to get their setups, and we will be underway. No formation lap. We will go right into it as soon as we get on the grid. All right, here we go. I believe, there we go. We are underway. We have a Vera towards the front. A little bit of a weird moment for Chonk there. Let's get a little closer view. Back this up a little bit. McLaren really wide. Avira maintains the lead going into turn 1. We have a Ferrari off track. Oh no, Pratty doesn't go into the barrier. Ghost, he holds on to it. A little off the track there. Mr. Lokesh is still in the train going through the first sector here. Looks like we are still clear. No damage for anyone as far as I can tell. A little bit of gap there growing between our two Haas's as Kaginis goes off the track a little bit there at the exit of Degna 2. 1.3 seconds already, that gap between Kaginis and Chonk. Pratty not too far behind after that, the little adventure he went there during the first sector. We have Aaron Green getting around Joel Guron. Back here in the midfield, it shows some tire details here. The top three are all on softs. A little bit of a surprise there. Makes sense why Kaginis was struggling a little bit there at the start. Man in the box getting around him. A big gap to close to catch up to Chonk and Avira starting on softs. We have Roldy back here passing stars on those medium tires. Oh, Roldy just bunting Garrett. Oh no, just completely did not spot his braking point there. Oh no, into the wall. No front wing for Roldy. He's gonna have to do a whole nother lap with no front wing. Oh no. That caused a safety car. That is a VSC on the track. Now, Roldy, no front wing. Garrett Elder. OnlyFans Richard Long all the way down in P15. Rough start to the season for both of them. But a good opportunity for a lot of these guys to kind of reharvest a little bit of battery as that VSC is out. Drag their brakes a little bit, do a little lift and coasting. We will see. It's hard for us to see when it's ending. Projected strategy, soft, medium, soft, hard, very possible. Here we go. VSC is ending. Man in the box was able to close that gap quite a bit from 1.8 down to 1.1. Good him and Chonk. Garrett Elder left almost 2.5 seconds behind the back of the field on those medium tires. A little bit of battle here between Kaginis and J Street. J Street on those quicker tires. The Har is just struggling to maintain pace at this point in the race. Looks like back here towards the rear, we also have Kiwi and Stars getting into it. Kiwi on those soft tires, just blowing past Stars, going into 130R. Maybe a little bit of a downforce difference there. Avira starting to gap Chonk a little bit, has broken that DRS. We have a yellow flag towards the back. We have Pratty already getting a penalty for track limit warnings. Big Fart 69 having a little bit of an issue going through that final corner. Looks like he still has his car with no damage. Goldie having a pit with that no front wing. Vera has successfully broken the DRS gap from him to Chonk. Man in the box, struggling to maintain. Man in the box was having a little bit of issues there, having to dump a bunch of battery. Lost a lot of time to Chonk. Back here, we still have Kagenis still holding 4th place on those hard tires. We kind of see there that Rigraph having a little bit of extra grip there. Yeah, just right out the Degnas into the hairpin. Just so much more grip. But Kagenis is hanging around the inside. Oh, a little bit of a spin. He kind of takes a little bit too much of the curb and goes into the grass. Rigraph gets that move done. Kagenis falls 3 places down to P8 now. Side by side with Stars going into Spoon. Nope. Stars in front of him now. Up here we have both AlphaTauris in the top 6 now, both on softs on the same strategy. Kagenis right on the tail of Stars there. He's sending it into that final chicane. Getting the move done. Stars backing out. Still has DRS here. Chonk actually closing that gap up to Avira. The gap isn't growing that much. Still 1.4. Avira must have much more downforce. He's able to pull a little bit of a gap through those S's. As Chonk was able to drop that gap a little bit on the straight. Man in the box, losing more time to Chonk. Rigraph starting to close the gap up to man in the box. But the DRS train right now is from P7 down to P13, or excuse me, P12. A little bit of a train here in the middle between Rigraph, Kiwi, and Aaron Green. Oh, as an Alfa Romeo just went off track. That was Chase. Just went super deep. And lost it coming out of that second Degna corner. Back here in these 2 Williams, we have Snoop right behind Stars. Stars will not have DRS at the end of this lap. Joel behind both of the Williams. Must have Kiwi and Rigraph. Ooh, a lot of stuff happening here. Joel trying to make some moves into 130R. Right on the tail of Stars here going into the final couple corners. See if he can get this move. Ooh, a bit of a snap there. A little too much power. Get a little too far back to clear Stars. Looking at this, the top 11 right now, no track limit warnings. Oh, as I say that, Chonk gets his first track limit warning. Must have been as he went through that first Degna, maybe went a little deep on corner exit. Back here to the back, we have Stars, who is now on the tail of Kagenis. Goldie setting the fastest lap well behind the field after having to do a lap with no front wing, causing the VSC on lap 2. So now a little bit of a battle here. Kagenis just kind of getting eaten up by everyone, being the first hard runner. With everyone else going hard, or softs and mediums, just hard to maintain that pace. The tire is just such a terrible race tire at this track. You can take the soft and the medium for so long here. Looking back here at Joel, we have Snoop Francis just outside the DRS of Joel at the moment. Joel is looking for a move on Stars. Stars going around the outside. Oh, a little bit of a tag between Stars and Kagenis. Looks like Stars tried a little too hard to try to maintain that position around and just tagged the back of Kagenis sitting around, but it looks like Stars has maintained control. He's still in that train, just lost a couple of positions. Snoop has DRS behind Joel. Ooh, big snap from Joel there. Back up towards the front, we have Kiwi and Rigraph. Rigraph just outside the DRS delta of Man in the Box. Man in the Box kind of that gap between the top three is kind of going all over the place, but it does seem to be widening between all three of them. Looks like Rigraph is going to be within that DRS of Man in the Box at the end of this lap. Let's go back to Joel, see how he's doing. Joel and the Williams is here. A spin from somebody back here. Looks like, oh no, Lokesh going around. Big Fart 69 having a bit of a moment there before the hairpin. No damage, it looks like. Back up here to Joel, going back on the exit of Spoon. Right on the tail of Kagenis with Snoop right behind him, and Stars actually losing a little bit of time to them, so he's not going to have DRS at the end of this lap. Back up towards the front, Rigraph just outside the DRS detection area of Man in the Box, which may mean Kiwi. Ooh, a little bit of a snap there on the final corner. Let's see, he's using a lot of battery. Rigraph using all of his battery here to try to maintain his position. Kiwi not able to make that move happen, just too far back. Rigraph now back in the DRS of Man in the Box. I think Man in the Box is running much higher downforce than Rigraph, so it's possible we may see that gap go back up through these slower speed sections. Back here towards P8 with Joel and the Williams and Kagenis. Joel not able to get by Kagenis on that last lap. Benefit though of this hard, if you can kind of hold off on for a while, you will equalize with that medium tire, and then we'll be a little bit quicker towards the end of y'all's first stint. So we're kind of getting close to that point where that medium and that hard will kind of hit the same kind of tire delta, for lack of a better term, that I could come up with in that moment. But Snoop having a little bit of a moment, losing the DRS of Joel, potentially. May have to dump his whole battery down the hill here after Spoon to try to get back within that detection area. Or excuse me, that detection delta. But Kiwi really close. Sending it up the inside of Rigraph going into these final couple of corners. Making that move stick, having a little bit of a moment going into the pit straight. Will Rigraph have an answer for him here? A little bit too far back to send it from here. But Kiwi, ooh, a little bit of a drift there from Kiwi going to turn 1. Looks like in the back we had Joel overtaking Kagenis into turn 1. 2 seconds between Joel and P6 of Aaron Green. Back towards the front we have Chonk, who is almost 4 seconds down to Avira P1. Man in the Box, 2.6 to Chonk, but Kiwi and Rigraph, we have somebody crashing out. Looks like Kagenis crashed out. Is that going to cause a safety car? It is. Kagenis crashed out towards the end of the first sector. Maybe I spoke a little bit too soon on those hard tires. They maybe just are not a good race tire at this track. But that's big for Mr. Lokesh. Oh, drive through. Okay. As I say that. Literally as I say that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lokesh. I think I may have cursed you there. But Roldy will get himself back in this race. We will likely see everyone pit onto hards, except for Paulie, who is already on the hard, so he's not going to be able to do that. But he can go to the end on mediums. It'll just be stinky, but it does give him an opportunity to kind of go on to maybe softs, then go to mediums, or go to mediums and softs. Being in the hard tire here is not the greatest strategy, but we did see yesterday in D1 that some people who stayed out were able to make up a lot of time at the end of the race on those softs. So yeah, we see Avira Chonk pit. We see Man in the Box go in. We see Chonk get a speeding penalty. Oh no. Rigraph with the cheeky little pass of Kiwi going into the pits. Okay. Barely caught that. Pure luck there. We have Chonk going on the medium, so Chonk thinks he can go 16, 17 laps. He certainly can on this tire. It's just, will it be raceable versus the hard at the end? And that 5-second penalty that he just picked up by speeding into the pit box. Alright, so everyone has pit. We're still waiting on Mr. Lokesh and Roldy to come around into the pit lane. Now, I hope somebody here is here to, or somebody is in Lokesh's ear to kind of educate him about how the drive-through penalties work. We have J Street on the softs. Okay. We did mention it a second ago that this is possible. He can make up a bunch of time, get back on those mediums, and then just try to gain them, and then just try to push as hard as he can at the end of the race. Potentially even go softs. We did restart the session, so we can go soft to the end here. If he can make up a lot of time before he pits again, it could put him in a really nice position towards the end. Because as these tires wear, the raceability of them become a little bit suspect at the end of this race. So it's going to be as how far and how quickly he can clear most of this field with these softs. He may have quite the advantage with the number of people on hard tires. We did see at the start of the race, Kagen has struggled a lot with the hard tire. So with the gap of the cars, what we're likely looking at, what we're likely looking at is a safety car coming in at the end of lap 10. So we'll have one more time to go around while Big Fart 69 and Harold Monolili catch up with the grid. Once they have done that, we will go back in. We will go in from the safety car. So looking at the penalties, I believe we are looking at track limit penalties and a drive-through for Big Fart 69. We have J Street going back in. Oh no! Man, if he goes on a hards, I'll be disappointed. Soft may have been a more exciting strategy. Goes on the mediums. Okay. I'm a little bit more... I approve of that one a little bit more. But like I was trying to get into with Big Fart 69, hopefully he has somebody to let him know how long he has to serve that drive-through penalty. He'll have 3 laps from the green flag, or excuse me, 2 laps from the green flag to go into the pits. Otherwise, he will be disqualified from the race. Chonk with the 5-second penalty. Now, if we get another safety car, he'll have an opportunity to clear that penalty on his next pit stop. And with no Haas driver in the race, or excuse me, with no second Haas driver in the race, they will not be held up in the pits behind him, but it will probably mean he'll have to make up positions if we get another safety car. All right, let's go back to tires so we can have a see. With these tires, this looks like everyone's trying to go to the end. There's still a possibility that people on the mediums make another pit stop, depending on just the gaps that they're in and depending on how quickly they think they can make up those deltas, because at the end of this race, the softs are going to be almost 3 seconds a lap faster, if not more, than the hards at the end. So they can make up so much time so quickly. Yeah, here we go. Everyone is caught up with the grid. J Street falling back to the back, having pit again for fresh medium tires after initially pitting onto softs. Let's take a look here at our position changes here. We have Joel moving up a lot. Joel being retired in the pits upon rejoin during qualifying. Just a little bit of lobby bug. Making up 9 spots. But Kiwi, look at Kiwi up 6 positions up into P4, fighting for a podium. But right now in a podium finishing position with the chunk penalty. So big for Kiwi. All right, we are in this. We are about to restart this race. Avira is going into this final corner. The chunk right on his gearbox. He is going. Dumping that battery. A battle here between, looks like, Rick Raff and Joel. Joel not ready to hang around the outside just yet. Looks like Avira is kind of building a bit of a gap through that first sector already. Chonk kind of building a gap to man in the box too. Before we saw Chonk kind of get gapped on different tires, but Chonk now is on the better tire compared to Avira. Let's see how long it will take Avira, if he can at all, to dump Chonk. But man in the box already getting left behind. This hard tire, struggling to deal with these medium tire runners when everyone is on the same, or actually when everyone had to pit on the same lap. Back towards the back, we have Stars. I think we have a McLaren there of Original Paulie making a move on Garrett Elder there. Just that medium tire, just so much better than the hard right now. Unless your name is Avira, then you're just going to drive away from the field, even against someone who is on a medium tire. Towards the back, we have Roldy going around the outside of Pratty, getting that move done, but taking a lot of time. So 6/10 outside of the DRS detection window of Garrett Elder in front of him. Back up towards here, we have Joel going down the inside of Rigraff, going into turn 1 on those hard tires. Still a lot of battery there for Joel and Avira. Kiwi up here kind of closing the gap to man in the box. Man in the box sticking with Chonk for now. Looks like we have Lokesh having a pit there. Service drive-through penalty. Just somebody there. Lokesh, smart move there, just getting that served. We have had issues in the past where somebody just continuously got safety cars while they had a drive-through penalty and they could not serve the penalty until so late in the race it was confusing and they wound up getting disqualified going into the final lap. So unfortunate for them. So good on Lokesh for getting that served. Joel already kind of gapping Rigraff here. Rigraff outside of the DRS and now right on the gearbox of Kiwi. Going down the outside here through 130R. Now right on the gearbox of man in the box. Joel is kind of charging here. Does he have the pace to catch Avira if he can clear these two cars? Looks like a much better exit than man in the box on the same tire. He's going to get by him too. And now only one more car between Joel. Man in the box fighting back. Side by side into turn 1, a little bit of contact. Man in the box backing out and Joel getting that move done. Still within a second of Chonk in front of them. Towards the back, we have Garrett Elder and Stars. Garrett right on his gearbox. Here we have Aaron Green up in P8 on those medium tires behind Snoop. Snoop having a little bit of a moment going into the hairpin here. Way too far back for Aaron Green to make a move there. Let's see, Garrett using a little bit of battery. Back up towards the front. Joel kind of dumping man in the box just as he did to Rigraff before. Really just wants to close as much time as he can to have a shot at trying to race Avira at the end of this race. I think we're looking at 2.6, 2.8. 2.5, but there's a lot of time being dropped. Chonk. I remember DRS was enabled at the start of this lap, so Joel will have DRS. Try to roll through the field here as people have DRS. Joel should easily pass Chonk here. Chonk squeezing him, trying to defend. But the DRS is going to be way too powerful for Chonk here. Man in the box has DRS. Kiwi is DRS, excuse me. Back to Garrett, not able to make the move on Stars, but is really close. Stars really close behind Original Paulie too, who did not have DRS there. But now towards the front, 2.3 or so between Avira and Joel on the same tire. Similar battery. And Joel closed this gap. Ooh, big moment there for Joel. Looks like we have Roldy may have gone around. Yeah, Roldy there. Looks like he He had a spin on the end of Sector 1 there. Has wing damage again. Gap between Joel and Avira, 2.6. A little bit of a battle here for P4. I mean, 3 drivers, very close. Kiwi right behind Man in the Box. Garrett in P10, right behind Paulie. J Street behind him. Paulie again does not have DRS here. Same thing up here. Joel is not really gapped Chonk. Chonk's done a good job of staying within a really good delta behind Joel. So if he gets a good exit here, he should get right past Joel, which will hurt Joel's attempt of catching Avira here. Will Joel dump his battery to try to keep him behind? And there's no way he keeps Chonk behind here. Chonk's just too close. Too much straight line speed. Round the outside into turn 1. Joel's trying to stick it. Chonk goes off the track there a little bit. Bottoms out and loses the position. Joel's able to maintain it. 2.4. Looks like we have Lokesh spun back around at Spoon. Back source the back. We did actually have Garrett Elder passing original Paulie into turn 1, but now 1.5 second to Snoop. Garrett with not a ton of battery. If he wants to kind of keep Paulie back behind him, he's going to have to close that gap. That gap between Avira and Joel is widening. Looks like Joel is just, through that first sector, Avira is just so strong through that first sector. He keeps building a little bit of time, but then we get back towards Spoon and the time drops again. Maybe a little bit of a moment for Avira there. Our only issue here is my telemetry is showing 3 warnings for Joel. That may only, it's hard to say exactly how many track limit warnings he has, but 1 3-second penalty will definitely hurt his chances, or basically eliminate his chances of going for the win here, even if he does catch Avira. Kiwi right on the gearbox of Man in the Box going into our DRS zone. Our only DRS zone, excuse me. A lot of battery for him. Kiwi still too far back, not using very much battery there. Back towards here, original Paulie staying behind Garrett, going to turn 1. Joel is closing that gap, if not by a lot, but just a little bit, just a little over 2/10. He closed the gap to Avira there on that lap, 31.776 to a 31.527. Chonk doing a good job of sticking within that DRS of Joel, kind of being towed along. Remember, he still has that 5-second penalty that he gained by speeding in the pit lane behind the safety car. Oh no, Lokesh with another penalty. Actually, I think that might be his first. Nope, that is his second track limit penalty. So he's at 6 seconds now. Chonk unable to stick behind, Kiwi unable to stick behind Chonk, so he will not have DRS. Chonk is looking like he may be outside of the DRS detection zone here. But he does have a lot less wing, so he may be able to close this gap going into 130R here. And it does appear to be the case. Joel down a lot in battery, under 20%. Avira still between 50 and 60% battery-wise, but that gap, it is going down. And we have 10 laps to go. Same strategy for Joel. Same strategy for Avira. Can Joel close that gap? Back behind them a couple of positions. Rigraff getting the move done on Man in the Box with the help of the DRS. Back here we have Snoop right behind Garrett. I believe Garrett getting past him with the same situation with the DRS. J Street also getting around original Paulie. That 1 lap extra less tire wear behind the safety car may help. Oh, and there goes Joel. He has the 3 seconds now, and the gap has gone up. So now Joel just has to think about trying to build a gap to that P4 car and not allow Kiwi to ride that DRS of Chonk, so we can maintain that position of P2. Avira is still sitting on 0 track limit warnings. That'll be important for Joel not to fight Chonk too much if he wants to maintain his position. Chonk has better straight line speed and DRS here. He should be close enough to just blow by him. Joel going defensive a little bit of a tab there from Chonk as he goes around Joel. Joel's still playing the defensive game, even though he has the penalty now. Now Joel, I believe, would lose 2 positions if the race were to end right now with that penalty. The entire top 9, the only people with track limit warnings are Chonk and Joel. Back here in P10, a little bit of a battle for P9 between J Street and Snoop. J Street on that, being the last one to pit, pitting twice behind the safety car to get a small tire advantage versus everyone else, but it did put him at the back of the field. Both of them about 15% battery or less. The Star is actually getting by F1 Pauly there. I think he may have a bit of moment because there's a lot of time being lost there. It's the yellow flag. We have Roldy around. After that second Degna, Roldy quite a ways back after having to pit again with wing damage. Back up here we have J Street blowing by Snoop with the DRS and with the tire advantage. If there is one now. Take a look back here between Lokesh and Roldy. Pauly has pit and retired. Okay. That's what you always like to see. No wing damage on Roldy, so maybe just a clean spin. A little battle for P7 here between Aaron Green and Garrett Elder. Man, J Street just outside that DRS delta of Aaron Green. Not sure if he meant to do that, but just in case he didn't mean to leave, I'm going to send him an invite. I would assume since he pit and then left, he meant to retire and sign online, so never mind. Pauly actually left. Snoop Francis actually crashes out, causes a safety car. Oh no. What happened to Snoop there? He is stopped after the second Degna. He must have just gone too deep or rode that curb and right into the wall, so we can't really see. I'll see if I can't get an invite to Pauly while we wait. We do have a safety car, so as long as he's still here, as long as he wants to get back in the race, he's still on the lead lap. If the stupid thing will load. Let's try Steam. No Steam. I can't even see my friends list at all, as you guys can see there. So, if anyone else can invite Pauly, please do. I'm having trouble just pulling up my friends list. But even though Mr. Roldy has had... Oh no, Garrett gets the 5-second penalty. I think at this point it might be worth to pit again. We should have another set of tires. Clear that penalty, and this also clears the penalty of Chonks, and it does put Avira at, back in the pack. So we will have probably 5 or 6, potentially 5 or 6 racing laps to finish this race. Joel can't clear this 3-second penalty, but Chonk is able to clear his. Let's see if I can get my friends list working here. If we can get Paulie back in. Damn. All right, one more time. Let's see his AI pit in the background there. Nope, he's not online, so I can't get him back in. Alright, so let's take a look at these penalties. Chonk was able to clear his penalty, but he is at 2 track limit penalty, or track limit warning, so a penalty is possible. Joel with a 3-second time penalty, so he'll need to, if he wants to win this race, he'll have to gap Avira by 3 seconds before the end of this race and be in the lead, which Avira has not shown any kind of weakness so far tonight. Garrett Elder, OnlyFans Richard Long, I would assume that Jeff is going to tell him to pit again, clear that penalty, and just lose a few positions rather than lose those positions later. So Paulie's still not back in. Let me see, I'll try one more time. Nope, still don't see him. Mr. Tanner Davis saying, don't sleep on Rig. Never sleep on Rig, Raph. He is one of our short-lived Division 4 champions. We've winning that twice, if I'm not mistaken. I see someone named something asking for an invite. If that's Paulie, I'm trying. Paulie's AI is pitting him for like the 100th time. Just do not see Paulie. Let me double check in Discord what his name was. Should be Paulie. That's what it was showing for me. As I scroll through my phone, let me put this back up here. Yeah. Yeah, Paulie, I'm just not seeing you on my friends list at the moment. I'll keep trying. Still not there. And that's the only offline EA friend I can see. Yeah, Paulie, I have you on my friends list. I just don't see you online. Yeah, I just don't see him online. His AI has Pit for the 3rd time now, along with Roll D. So I think that should be his final set of tires, I would imagine. but the safety car should come in this lap. I will keep trying, Paulie, and as we move into the end of the safety car. Wonder how long this AI keeps extending the safety car by continuing to pit over and over. On. Press one more time. Scroll down, see if we can't find him. Still don't see Paulie. I'm trying, bud. Yeah, safety car will be coming in here. We are going into the final sector. I will look one last time for Paulie, otherwise it's just not going to work. Yeah, still don't see him. Okay, so back towards the front. Like I said, everyone is on fresh softs now. We will hold the penalties till the end. Vera restarting the race, dumping his battery. Joel right on his tail. Kiwi on his tail. Rigraff on his tail. Chonk on the tail of Man in the Box, just dumping his whole battery, trying to see if he can't find some space, but it's just too tight of a corner. 4 laps to the end. Paulie's AI pitting again. Big battery dump by Chonk here, going into Degna. This is going to be a hard overtake to stick. Ooh, takes way too much of that apex corner, loses a lot of time. And now Garrett Elder is in front of him going into the hairpin. Is he going to stick it? He's going to dive it down the inside of the hairpin. Kind of run Garrett off the track a little bit. But hold the position. A lot of time to make up to get back to Man in the Box. Back towards the back, J Street right on the tail of Aaron Green. The Chonk Garrett battle in front of them, kind of closing this group up a little bit. Stars right behind them also, followed by Pratty with that 3-second penalty. Let's see, Garrett right on the tail of Chonk. Stars kind of setting it down the inside of J Street going into these final 2 corners. We're setting the fastest lap. J Street and Stars losing a bit of time to the cars in front. Chonk getting back by Garrett, or staying in front of Garrett going into turn 1 here with 3 laps to go. Excuse me, 4 laps to go. Joel building a gap between him and Kiwi. Chonk kind of getting stuck in traffic back here. That little bit of error he had behind Man in the Box set him back so much. He wants to get back into this podium position, but there's still enough time that all sorts of things can happen. Rigraff and Kiwi fighting for that final podium position here. Rigraff with a lot of battery. Kiwi still with a solid amount. Man in the Box over a second behind them. Looks like Hokage or Mr. Roldy back here and Pratty having a little battle on the exit of Spoon. Roldy dumping his battery to get by Pratty there. Roldy, no penalty. Pratty and Lokesh do. Roldy making that move. Stick Chonk with the penalty. That's going to hurt quite a bit. A lot of cars right inside that delta. We have DRS on this lap. 2 laps to go. Joel at just under 2 seconds to Kiwi behind. Kiwi still fighting. Kiwi and Rigraff still fighting for this final podium position. Also with an outside chance of scoring P2. Garrett able to get by Chonk in that previous lap. Now right behind his Red Bull teammate. Big train here behind man in the box. Things could get a little bit spicy the next few corners here. Stars almost sitting it on J Street as he goes. J Street takes a really wide line in that hairpin. Stars being very cautious on the exit there. Joel actually losing time to Kiwi. Kiwi is doing a really good job of getting within staying within that penalty delta. Have to do a lot of work for Joel to maintain P2. Borderline on P3 right now. Garrett getting in front of man in the box. Oh man, a huge time bump by Chonk. Oh no. Just driving Garrett off the track, giving him a penalty. Oh no. And Chonk, add insult to injury, goes into the grass, crashes into the wall, and retires at the start of the last lap. Oh no. Kiwi 1.7 seconds behind Joel with a 3-second penalty. Rigraff right behind him, not able to make any moves going into turn 1 on that previous lap. As it stands now, Garrett will fall from P5 all the way down to P9 with the 5-second penalty. I'm not sure if whatever happens with the 3-second may not change much. But he definitely got that when he got pushed off the track. Joel actually getting dumped by Avira there. Avira pushing all the way to the end with all his battery. Joel, let's look at this delta. Will Rigraff be within 3 seconds of Joel? Will he have that podium? He's too far back to make a move on Kiwi here, going into the final sector for the final time. No battery. Very smooth exit here for both Kiwi and Rigraff. Right now, let's see, Joel 4.5, 1.8. Joel falls out of the podium right at the end. Some spicy lag there. Joel 7/10 outside the podium because of that 3-second penalty. Garrett falls all the way down to P9. Roldy finishes at P10. Probably much better than he was expecting after the amount of trouble he had this race, but solid finish from him. Pratty and Lokesh, Big Fart 69, both are going to finish their first race. Congratulations, guys. F1 Personal Paul, your AI pit maybe every lap from lap 20 to lap 27. So I'm sorry your AI finished almost a lap down. But that is it. Rigraff, 3rd. Kiwi, P2. And Avira, smoking everyone from start to finish. In our opening round in Season 10 in Division 3. Now we will see if we can get our podium finishers into our waiting room. Let's see, Kiwi See if we got regraph just for a moment. Zafira. It's going to look a little goofy, so I apologize in advance. Mr. Rigraff, welcome back to the podium, my man, Mr. D4 champion. Back on the podium in Division 3, dude. How does it feel to open the season with a podium? So I know Avira was a little bit dominant today, but with that said, dude, you're able to have a nice battle at the end to kind of claw your way back in the podium. What do you think? What do you think about your outside shot? You know, kind of or outside chances, or what do you think about your chances just in general about maybe fighting for a championship? All right, man. Well, I look forward to the rest of this season. That was a spicy ending there, so I look forward to more spiciness from you, man. Good luck for the rest of the season. All right, so that was a rig wrap with our P3, and in the second spot, finishing second in our first round for season 10 is Mr. Kiwi. What's up, Kiwi? Now, Kiwi, last season, you joined a little bit late, or maybe mid-season for Division 2. Kind of finished towards maybe the middle, towards the back of Division 2, but you stuck it all the way to the end, which most people generally don't do. So, big shout out to that. But then coming in Division 3, dude, P2 in your first race, how do you feel? All right, man. Well, so how do you feel about your pace? I mean, you saw Vera very dominant in that first race. How do you feel going into the rest of this? Do you think, man, I got this podium now, I can fight maybe for the championship? What do you feel? How are you feeling? All right. Well, congratulations on your first podium in CRL and your first second place. So congrats on that. I look forward to the rest of the season. All right, and then Avira in his second season with ZRL, his first season in Division 3, his first race in Season 10, just smokes everyone out of the gate. Avira, how bored are you after that race? I know, yeah, that late safety car can always feel like, you had what, like maybe you had maybe like a 3 second gap on Joel at the end, and then that safety car brings him right back into the fight, even with that penalty. But kind of from last season, you showed off some solid pace towards the end of the season, but it just seemed like every week you had no luck and would always get stuck in incidents. So I'm sure just this start to the season is a much better experience than you kind of had for most of last season. And so with just kind of how you smoked everyone today, do you kind of expect the same thing at Canada next week? All right, dude. Well, congratulations on your first win and a really nice start to this final season with F123. So I look forward to the 9 remaining races. Excuse me. So yeah. All right, guys. That is the end of our Division 3 Round 1 at Japan for our Season 10 with Zoom Racing League. So I am Big Mama Frank, also known as Joseph Huerta. That is the end of our broadcast today, guys. I thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. And I look forward to more Division 3 fun for the rest of this season. Take care, guys.